Howdy folks, welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles. So I've been playing War Thunder a lot more recently, and I've been anxious to have a go in some of my higher tier German prop driven aircraft like the Bf-109K, as you can see here. Unfortunately the matchmaker really doesn't like me. It keeps putting me into battles with lots and lots and lots of jets on the enemy team. Admittedly they're not terribly good jets, like this MiG-9 for example, but they are still jets, and unless you can catch them at low altitude and sucker them into shedding speed by manoeuvring violently, you really don't have much of a chance against them. Well, I got this MiG-9 at least. It is immensely satisfying getting a jet kill when you're flying something like a TA-152 or a Bf-109. Actually, Jingles, you didn't get the kill on the MiG-9, it was... Jingles? Silence. It was a moral kill, alright? I'm claiming it anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it is immensely satisfying getting kills on jet aircraft when you're flying something like the Bf-109K, but at the same time, the odds are pretty heavily stacked against you. Unless the jet pilot is an absolute idiot, he can pretty much, with his superior speed, choose whether or not he's going to fight you. The good news, of course, is that there are lots of complete idiots flying jets in War Thunder arcade battles. The bad news is that there are lots of people who are not complete idiots flying jets in War Thunder arcade battles. So it's very much a case of pot luck. But the thing is, when you are flying a prop aircraft in a jet game, as happened over and over and over again when I was trying to fly these higher tier German prop aircraft, it's a very sort of opportunistic style of gameplay. You never really get the opportunity to dictate the terms of a fight. You're just looking for people making mistakes and taking advantage of it. You don't get the opportunity to actually pick the fights that you want to get into the way that you do when you're flying a jet. So while the matchmaker was determined to constantly be tossing me into jet games anytime I flew an aircraft that could get into a jet game, I thought, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. So I strapped my man pants on and I selected a jet lineup of my own. It's a lot like playing tier 8 and 9 tanks in World of Tanks, for example. If you're playing tier 8 and 9s and you're constantly getting into games against tier 10 tanks, well, stop playing tier 8 and 9 tanks. Or drop it down to tier 7 or 6. Or start playing tier 10 tanks. You're never going to be at the bottom of the matchmaking table if you're in a tier 10. Right? You're always going to be a top tier tank. And it's the same with jets in War Thunder. That is the Sea Venom, and this is the first time I ever flew it. Although, you know, it's arcade, so I'm not really flying it. Does it handle realistically, Jingles? Well, nothing handles realistically in arcade. And I haven't tried this thing in realistic yet. But I wouldn't know what the thing was supposed to fly like in the first place. What do you think I am, some kind of expert? I'm just having fun in arcade battles. And this was a fun match. I was, of course, not particularly good in it, but it was a fun game. Two decent teams fighting it out right to the last minute. And I'm cruising around up here looking for a target. I don't know what I'm expecting to find at this kind of altitude. Not in arcade domination. It's not like it's a ground strike map. Well, there's a F-86 down there. Yeah, I know. Jet game, right? Ooh, who are you? What have you done with the real Jingles? He's turning in now. Now, whether that's because he's seen me or not, I don't know, but that's not going to give me a very good approach angle. That's more like it. Now, if he starts turning, I know he's seen me. There's plenty of other targets down there. And there he goes. And work him over with a cannon, score a hit, but no, I'm never going to be able to manoeuvre violently with an F-86 Sabre. Instead, there's a Meteor, an I-153. Got him. And I'm going really fast here, but I might be able to score some hits on this Meteor. No, nothing. And I'm not going to try to get involved in a low altitude dogfight with a whole bunch of much more manoeuvrable aircraft. So, built up a lot of speed in the dive, turn that speed back into altitude, rinse, repeat, do it all again. Next target. Big fat juicy B-17. And with 4 20mm Mark V Hispanos, if I can just hit him, well, I hit him. But you know what my shooting's like. And this is the thing, even in a jet, if you don't take these buggers out in your first pass, they're gunners. It's the height of embarrassment to have a jet fighter taken out by a B-17 bomber. So, no, screw that. You know what the B-17s are like. I got an assist. Somebody else got him fine. It's like the gun positions are all manned by T-800 Terminators. They just don't miss. So, anyway, what's next? Oh, there's that new Japanese fighter bomber. The R2-D2. And this is a bad angle of approach. And no. No. Far too fast and far too steep a dive angle. I'm never going to be able to get him. But on the other hand, there's a Canberra bomber. And I've never killed one of these before. So instead... Canberra bombers, if they get into games where they're top of the battle tiers, they're just untouchable. You cannot catch them and kill them. But when there are other jets, they're just free kills. But there's somebody on my tail. And I haven't seen him approaching, but it's a MiG-15. Now, watch this. Go evasive, dodging his fire. And there he goes. Yep, try to ram me. Loser. And of course now he's overshot me because he failed in the ram. And I'm behind him. And I've got 4 Mark 5 20mm Hispano cannons. Of course, my teammates behind me are now a bigger danger to me than the enemy, and very, very nearly shot me down there shooting at that MiG-15. So let's just break off the chase on that Canberra, and we'll go after this LA-15 instead. Actually, Jingles, the MiG-15 wasn't deliberately trying to ram you. He was simply... Oh, not again. Shut up. Yes, he was. Although, you know, my shooting still hasn't improved any. I finally managed to actually hit this LA-15, despite expending almost all of my ammunition on him. And I'm in a perilously dangerous situation here because I'm at the front of a procession of friendly aircraft all shooting at the LA-15 in front of me. And you know what happens in that sort of situation. Although, highly unusually, and to be very fair to my team, they were very, very careful not to actually hit me. There's a Panther behind me. Who, well, he's not behind me anymore, and now I've got to be really careful that I don't hit the Panther. But these guys were very, very careful with their shots, and they were firing past me to get the LA-15, but none of them actually came anywhere near hitting me, which is just amazing in arcade battles. So, thanks for that, team. MiG-15 now. Oh, I hit him, but I'm going far too fast. Pull it up. I'm hit. Eject, Porkins, eject. No, I can handle it. Oh, crap, no I can't. Oh well. Shot down by a Panther. So, yeah, that was the Sea Venom. First time I ever flew it. How does it handle, Jingles? I don't know, it's arcade. It handles like a TIE fighter. Or an X-Wing in this case. Yeah, it was fun. Wait a minute. Having fun in jet games? Who are you? And what have you done with the real Jingles? Yes, I know. Well, anyway, while I was derping around in the Sea Venom, we're losing. We're losing big time. We did actually hold one of the airfields. A was under our control. B has always been an enemy airfield, but the enemy team have managed to... Oh, crap. Well, they've managed to decap A, and there's a Yak-9 down there going in. It looks like he's going in for a capture. You can just see him up there in the top left side of the screen. And yep, he is. He's got wheels down. He's capping. Oh, crap. Well, I'm going to deal with him in a moment. First I'll kill this Yak-9. And it's a little bit too little too late, but he has now been shot down. But you can probably agree that it was definitely worth sacrificing a Yak-9 to capture both airfields. They now control everything. And we are shedding tickets at a monstrous rate. And the enemy, we didn't have that many tickets left to begin with. The enemy team have got 4 times the amount of tickets that we have. Possibly even 5 times. And I sincerely thought that that was it. This game's over. But it was not to be. Right now I'm thinking, yeah, that's it, we're done. And I'm just looking for something else to kill before the match ends. But look at that. Bang. As quickly as that, my team recaptured both airfields. In seconds. Suddenly, well, we're not winning, but now we've got a chance. and I spot the year 2. And generally speaking, in arcade domination maps, if you see somebody in a bomber, they're usually going on a base rush. And this was a bit silly of me. I flew right into the line of fire of the friendly who was on the tail of the year 2 as I was angling for a deflection shot. That was very, very stupid of me. If I'd been hit there, it would have been completely my own fault. But now we've got a... oh, hang on. Bearcat. And he's... is he going for me? No, he's not going for me. And it's a deflection shot. But I got him. Managed to... he turned in. Fool. Turned in and put himself right in front of me in a tail chase. And, yeah, well, that was an easy kill. But now we've got to look for the guys who are going to be attempting to recap. Because that's what the enemy team are going to be doing. And it's all going on down on those airfields. And there's a MiG-9 who's definitely got me in his sights. And I don't want to be dogfighting up here with the MiG-9 because it's in the airspace between the two airfields. I want to be down there on the airfields, defending them from recapture, but this MiG-9's determined to get me. And credit to the MiG-9 player. Watch the shot that takes me out. Look at that. I'm in his gun sights for a fraction of a second, perpendicular to his angle of attack, and boom, off goes my wing. That was some really, really good shooting from the MiG-9 pilot. So, after being taken to school by the MiG-9 pilot, while I'm in the hangar picking my next aircraft, the enemy team have clawed back one of the airfields. So I picked the Hawker Tempest Mark II to use as an expendable aircraft to recapture some of these airfields for my own team. I'm far happier to throw away a prop-driven aircraft in a jet lineup than I am to throw away something like, you know, a Gloucester Meteor in order to get wheels down on one of these landing strips. Although, having said that, that is really going to come back and bite me in the arse again later. So, and that, by the way, that was friendly fire. That was some douchebag on my own team taking my engine out. So with a crippled engine, I've got nothing else to lose now. It's only a matter of time before my engine fails completely. Get the wheels down, because the enemy team have capped the other airfield as well. We're going to lose very, very quickly unless I can get my wheels down, and we've decapped, and bingo, done it. So one sacrificial Hawker Tempest later, and we've managed to pull it back and even the scores once again. Whew. No thanks to my own team for shooting my own engine up as I was on the approach and basically forcing the issue. At that point, I had nothing else to lose. I would prefer to have been able to shoot down the Key 84 and then make the landing, but no, my team decided I didn't need my engine. I was going to have to do it there and then. But, you know, no real harm done. I wasn't planning on surviving in the Tempest anyway. I deliberately picked it in order to throw it away, capturing an airfield. It would have just been nice to be able to do it on my own terms, rather than being forced into it by having somebody shoot my engine out. So, spare Gloucester Meteor. Let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, well, it's one of those Jingles derp moments again. The decisions I've made up to this point have mostly been pretty good. Not all of them, obviously. Trying to get into a turn and fight with a MiG-9, for example, at low altitude wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but that was a work of genius compared to what you're going to see me try to do now. Jingles, what you doing? Why are you trying to land at 700 kilometers per hour? Yeah, I know. Well, the airfield was right there. There were no enemy fighters over it. And I actually thought, I'm looking, I'm thinking, yes, I've done it! Yeah, it was totally worth it. It wasn't. That wasn't me. There was somebody else behind me. And it was a short-lived victory, because as I'm picking my next Gloucester Meteor, the aircraft who shot down the guy behind me who captured that airfield has just put his wheels down, and he's recaptured it just as quickly. Or almost. Almost. He managed to get shot down. He has decapped but not recapped, so Airfield A is still up for grabs. But look at that. We've got nearly no tickets left. Anyway, one more Gloucester Meteor. Airfield A needs to be recaptured. But let's not try to do it at 750 kilometers per hour this time, eh, Jingles? And that is actually quite an issue. It's very, very difficult to successfully capture an airfield when you're in a jet, because these things are so fast, and it takes time for these things to slow down. These early jet engines did not accelerate or decelerate very quickly at all. So, and that's going to be dangerous, because if you're circling one of these bloody airfields trying to lose speed, you're making yourself an easy target for the guys that we're capturing. It's the guys in the prop aircraft and the bombers, for example, who are the most effective base capture pilots. Guy there trying to go in and capture, but he's burnt down before he could do it. So I'm trying to lose speed here, but I'm still going too fast. Far too fast. And there are enemy fighters closing in. So I'm going to... Oh, this is going to be risky as all hell. I'll go for one more circle, lose some more speed, get my gear down. Come on. Come on. Don't screw it up twice in one battle. Come on. Oh, they've captured A. I have to get this. Oh, we're going to lose if I don't get this. I've got it. Yes. Yeah, all your base will belong to us. Well, not all of them, but one of them at least. Now that Bearcat over there, this is the critical moment. I think the Bearcat is going for me, so I raise my gear and I hammer open the throttle to get some distance on him, but he's not. He's going for a capture. And making the decision to try to get away from him costs us the game. Instead, I should have immediately turned in and shot him down, because he has just decapped and is recapturing, and I lower my gear. I'm attempting to get a recap after him, but it's too late. That one moment of indecision and that terrible, terrible landing that cost us the game. If I'd just turned in and gone after that Bearcat when I had the opportunity to do it, instead of trying to evade him, when he wasn't going after me in the first place, we might have still won that game. But I made the wrong decision and we lost. And you know what? I didn't mind losing. It was a fantastically well played game. There's no dishonour whatsoever. As long as you put up a good fight, absolutely no dishonour in losing to a better team. And they were just a better team. And I had a lot of fun losing to a better team. It was, yeah, I know, Jingles, having fun in jet games in War Thunder. Who the hell are you? What have you done with the real Jingles? Don't worry, I'm sure it won't last. The next game I jump into, there'll be nothing but MiG-15s on the enemy team, and I'll get my arse handed to me again, over and over and over. Normal service will be resumed. So, War Thunder arcade domination in jets with the mighty Jingles. I hope you enjoyed watching that one half as much as I enjoyed playing it. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.